Amendment 64 passes. Colorado legalizes marijuana for recreational use. The Rocky Mountain High just got a whole lot higher. On Tuesday night, Amendment 64, the measure seeking the legalization of marijuana for recreational use by adults, was passed by Colorado voters, making Colorado the first state to end marijuana prohibition in the United States. With about 36 precincts reporting at the time of publishing, J News and Fox 31 report that Amendment 64 has passed. Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper, a vocal opponent to the measure, reacted to the passage of A64 in a statement late Tuesday night, saying, quote, "The voters have spoken and we have to respect their will. This will be a complicated process, but we intend to follow through. That said, federal law still says marijuana is an illegal drug, so don't break out the Cheetos or Goldfish too quickly." End quote. The passage of the state measure is without historical precedent, and the consequences will likely be closely watched around the world. In an interview with the Huffington Post, the authors and researchers behind the book Marijuana Legalization: What Everyone Needs to Know pointed out that the measure in Colorado is truly groundbreaking, comparing it to the legalization that Amsterdam enjoys. A common error is to believe that the Netherlands has already legalized cannabis, which is the preferred term for marijuana in Europe. What has been the de facto legalized is only the retail sale of 5 grams, which is about 1/6 of an ounce, or less. Production and wholesale distribution is still illegal, and that prohibition is enforced, which is largely why the price of Sinsemilla in the coffee shops isn't that much different than the price in American dispensaries. Although Colorado legalized it, it will be several months, perhaps as long as a year, before Colorado adults 21 and over can enjoy the legal sale of marijuana. However, the parts of the amendment related to individual behavior will go into effect as soon as Governor Hickenlooper certifies the results of the vote, a proclamation he is obligated to do within 30 days of the election, the Colorado Independent reported. It's a huge victory for the Campaign to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol, the pro-pot group behind Amendment 64. Mason Yurt, co-director of the campaign, said in a statement, quote, "Over the past 8 years in Colorado, we have argued that it is irrational to punish adults for choosing to use a product that is far less harmful than alcohol. Today, the voters agreed. Colorado will no longer have laws that steer people toward using alcohol, and adults will be free to use marijuana instead if that is what they prefer, and we will be better off as a society because of it." End quote. This is the second time Colorado voted on legal weed. In 2006, Coloradans voted the measure down, but not in 2012. Mason Yurt, co-director of the campaign, told the Huffington Post in an August interview why he thought this year might be different. He says, quote, "The 2006 initiative would have simply removed the penalties for the possession of marijuana legal for individuals 21 years of age or older. The current initiative proposes a fully regulated system of cultivation and sales, which will eliminate the underground marijuana market and generate tens of millions of dollars per year in revenue, which is new revenue, and criminal justice savings. It also directs the legislature to regulate the cultivation of industrial hemp, a versatile, popular, and environmentally friendly agricultural crop. More importantly, voters are more informed about marijuana than ever before. They have also experienced the emergence of a state-regulated medical marijuana system that has not produced any serious problems but has provided a number of benefits. We now know that marijuana cultivation and sales can be regulated, and that medical marijuana businesses do not contribute to increased crime. We have also seen marijuana use among high school students decrease since the state began implementing regulations, whereas it has increased nationwide where there are no regulations. And, of course, localities and the state have seen how much revenue can be generated through the legal sale of marijuana that would have otherwise gone into the underground market. Voters in Colorado no longer need to imagine what a legal and regulated system of marijuana sales would look like. They have seen it. It's also worth noting that 2012 is a presidential election year, so we will benefit from increased voter turnout compared to an off-year election like 2006. Historically, the more people who vote, the more support marijuana reform initiatives receive. End quote. On the same night that Colorado passed Amendment 64, Washington State passed Initiative 502, which regulates and taxes sales of small amounts of marijuana for adults, the Associated Press reports. Oregon also had a marijuana measure on the ballot, but as of publishing, and with 47% of precincts reporting, it looked as if it would not pass. Under Amendment 64, marijuana is taxed and regulated similar to alcohol and tobacco. It gives state and local governments the ability to control and tax the sale of small amounts of marijuana to adults aged 21 and older. According to the Associated Press, analysts project that the tax revenue could generate somewhere between $5 million and $22 million a year in the state. An economist whose study was funded by a pro-pot group projects as much as a $60 million boost by year 2017.